Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Dear Monster. Now in the last episode, we had a lot going on. We had Alan going to the Valley of the Foxes, and he ended up saving his fox. He ended up saving Momo. He interfered when Momo was gonna go and get himself killed like an idiot. And yeah, he showed he was a badass. It was pretty cool. I'm still on hiatus while this is being recorded. And like I said, I am going to be recording a little backlog for you guys. So by the time you guys are hearing this, it'll probably be a whole month later. But yeah, I hope that I will be able to have a nice backlog for you guys. It's cool. It's gonna be interesting to have a nice backlog. Gonna be nice and relaxing time for me because I'm not gonna be scrambling to record and edit and everything like normal. Right now, I'm not. I'm still a little sick, but not like full on sick. So that's good. Yeah. So let's go. Oh, that's right. They were about to have a moment, weren't they? I could tell. I could tell it was coming. And I was like, oh, I think the episode was long enough that I was like, yeah, I think I could end it right here. Oh, and I didn't have time to do with the editing. So I was like, yeah, let's just end it here. So anyway, he leers at me and takes a step closer. His pupils are slits again, but that's the only visible remainder of the half-feral remainder, or yeah, I guess remainder instead of reminder, of the half-feral form I saw in the Valley of the Foxes. Still, the wild, heated look, coupled by the proximity, it's hard to remember I'm trying to stand my ground, which I assume is the point. I'm all worked up now, and it looks like you are too. We should let off some steam. That would really help, I think. Momo. Yes, love. I still want to take care of you. I don't want you just gagging me again or something, so you don't have to listen to me. Let me do something for you. Oh, do you want to top? That's not what I meant. Oh, so you don't want to? Even though you are averse? It's alright, love. I'm flexible. You want to take care of me. You want to make it good. Take a turn, love. But if you think I'm letting you run the show, you're mistaken. But you just said... Oh, sweetheart, dear, darling, haven't you ever read the tags on AO3? There is such a thing as topping from the bottom and bottoming from the top and, you know, dominant, submissive, and all these other tags. Yes, yes. Service top, you know, there's just a lot of phrases going around these days. It sounds a lot like Reed with the last one, and I wince. Not darling. I don't like that one. Love. It's the softest he's ever said it. Bottoming isn't inherently submissive. If you need a demonstration, I'm happy to give one. Okay then. Momo smirks, then waves a hand. The air ripples again. He pulls me through, and we stumble out into his shop. And that is something that, over the years, I like that I've seen variety more, in the LGBT and the yaoi community. Like, I started seeing more of, like, big, beefy bottoms, and less of the, like, delicate, frail, more feminine ukes and bottoms. I'm like, yeah, give me some variety, you know? It's like, we need to break those stereotypes. We need to see that there is some variety, and like he said that just because you're on the bottom doesn't mean you have to be submissive. So it's cool that they are teaching and that they are showing that when it comes to activities in the boudoir, that, you know, you can mix things up. You can do different things. And it's so cool how someone like me who's never, you know, who's an ace, how open-minded I've become. How much I've learned over the years. Momo guides me into the shop and pushes me down toward the counter. Oh, you're gonna do it here. Okay. Sit back and relax, love. Momo, I was going to... Oh, I know. But you see, I'm not a lie down and take it type. I like to be in control. You should have realized that by now. You want to fuck me? Sit down, relax. He waves his hand, and just like what happened at the waterside before, my pants vanish. He stands, making a slow, sensual show of peeling his own clothes off, one layer at a time. Of course, I unfortunately will have to edit out the actual images and descriptions, which is a shame because this is clearly like an important part of the story, you know, of what's going on here, so I'll have to really summarize it this time. Because it looks like this is part of their story, right? Of him explaining to him about what it means to be... I mean, I'm kind of summarizing it already, right? Of what it means to be, like, dominating while still being a bottom. So I guess I don't really have to tell you guys the detail of whatever is going to happen, but I always summarize it at the end for you guys anyway. I'll make your evening. Momo, hush. Momo sinks down to his knees in front of me and leans forward. There's something distinctly feline about the way he arches and lowers his head down, taking my dick in his mouth. Yeah, I did say, despite him being a fox, that he has like a cat-like look to him at times, right? Didn't I say? Am I gonna cut it here? Probably. Nope. Oh, okay. Feline or vulpine. Not that I can think much about the difference when his cheeks hollow out. All I can do is throw my head back and a moan. Yep. Momo gives an amused hum around my cock, which shoots vibrations all the way to my balls. It sends shivers down my spine. Momo. His tongue curls devilishly and pulls back. He drags it slowly along the length before pulling off entirely. Just warming you up, love. Alright, so quick summary was just that pretty much that Alan didn't have the control, like he said. That Momo controlled the pacing, he controlled everything pretty much, you know, he was on top, and he didn't get to have the fun pretty much until Momo said he would. He was like, nope, I'm in charge. You may be inside me, but I'm the one in charge. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. And to me, he did look very cat-like, despite being a fox. And yeah, they had fun. Well, love, that hit the spot. He's like, you destroyed me. I'm tired. Momo laughs, rolling off of me. A flick of his hand makes us both clean and fully dressed again. Feels like a loss, but I can't really mourn it. The poor post-orgasmic haze is strong. Not really what I was going for. No. You wanted to talk about our feelings until I cried on your lap, right? I didn't want you to cry. Well, you indulged me. I suppose I can indulge you. He waves a hand, and a portal flickers to life beside us. Come on, love. I'll take you to one of my favorite places. Climbing to stand on slightly shaky knees, I take his hand and let him pull me through the portal. Oh, that place again. We come out by a small running stream, deep in the woods. This is the place I took you before. Yeah, it's technically in the Valley of the Foxes, but... He gestures up into the distance where I can see a towering mountain, made of a glistening white stone that almost looks like polished marble. That's the mountain of celestial foxes. Wild foxes, that is, pure wild foxes, can't come here, or the celestial foxes on the mountain will feel them, and they don't want to risk a fight they can't win. So how come you can come here? I never liked being in the valley. I used to venture into human villages a lot, spend time among people. I don't have as much of the valley's wild energy in me because of that. They don't notice me. You said foxes can change, right? Could you go up the mountain, be a celestial fox? No, I don't think so. Celestial foxes don't ever come off the mountain. They're up there for life. I'd get bored pretty fast. Yeah, I can see that. Still, it's a shame those are the only two options. Fact of life, love. I'm too human for the other foxes, but far too fox-like for humans. I walk the in-between. It might seem like a change in topic, but it isn't. It makes me realize that Momo is used to not really fitting in anywhere. I remember the first day after we bonded, with all the pranks, when I noticed how much attention he paid to the others. How much of that constant observation was for survival. Trying to learn what he could and couldn't get away with to stay around them in his only real home. I never really fit in, either. What? I mean, it's not the same, obviously, but my parents, they died when I was young. I was left with my aunt, and she didn't exactly shower me with love, you know? She didn't seem to feel anything for me. So I tried to be unassuming, easy to deal with. I tried to do whatever she asked for and not be a burden, but I never really felt like I got anywhere. It never felt like she warmed up to me at all. It was always just me doing my best to just not make her hate me. I never earned her love. Yeah, that's how it tends to go. Sometimes you want people to love you so much you'll find if they just don't hate you. You guys are making me sad. Especially when you feel like you deserve to be hated. Who could hate you? You're puppies and sunshine in human form. Even the lizard likes you. Hell, Hikmat likes you. Momo, you didn't even like me. At least for a while. What? Of course I did. You didn't... You know what? Never mind. That's not the point. The point is, logical or not, that's how I felt. Like, I didn't deserve to be loved. Only to be hated. So, I didn't get mad when people only tolerated me because I felt like that was all I could hope for. And you're doing the same thing. But I'm telling you, Momo, I like you a lot. You're important to me, not just as my familiar. If you can't trust anything else, can you trust that? Hard to doubt it when I can feel it through the bond, but I still do. Old habits die hard. You know, talks like this. You really aren't that much like Theo, after all. I remember when I first met him, he barely tolerated having me around. It was kind of fun trying to get his attention. How did you end up with him? You've got that jealous tone again, love. I'm not. Don't worry, we weren't like that. He was already married to your grandmother before we even met. Is that the only reason you weren't together? Look at that jealous face, Alan. And there's the jealousy again. You're so easy to read. Momo, I'm serious. I want to know this stuff. Don't worry about it, love. Regardless of the circumstances. If I'd ended up bonded to Theo, it would have been incredibly boring. You and I go back and forth, lock horns, make choices together. It's fun. It's engaging. You know, read between the lines, Alan. It's his way of saying, I'm glad it didn't work out with Theo because I'm happy I got you. That's his way of saying it. So, be happy with it. It's not, you know, I know you feel like second choice, and in a way you are, but it's fate, it's destiny, right? You guys ended up together, and right now, even though, yes, he'll always kind of compare you to your grandpa, but he's saying, for once he was like comparing you to him in a better way. He's saying, you know what? You're not like Theo, because Theo would not have taken the time to have this conversation with me. And I think he was kind of happy about that, you know? So this is good, Alan. This is good. He's opening up to you. You guys had that hot sex. And now he brought you to his favorite place. And he's opening up to you and telling you things and listening to you. Come on. This is good. This is progress. Theo? He would have just made me do whatever he wanted. Which, to be fair, was what I was after at the time. Wait, what? Like, in a, not in a sexual way, love. I won't talk about your grandpa to you that way, don't worry. No, I mean it like it sounds. I had done some exploring, but my nature always cycled back to a wild fox. I wanted him to bind me so I could rely on his control rather than my own. Figured it would be easier that way. Momo. Oh, love, don't look at me like that. It was transactional. He'd get an extra supply of magical energy. I'd get an ancient wizard's fine-tuned control. A perfect bond. Except he had absolutely no interest in my magic or me. I only stayed in the mansion because your grandmother was fond of me, and Theo couldn't be bothered to fight with her on it. Ah, I had a feeling... See, I couldn't remember this. Based on the way he acted when we mentioned the grandmother, he got very closed off and acted very disinterested, right? And he's always Theo this, Theo that. So he seemed like he didn't care about her, and we thought, oh, maybe he's just jealous of her, didn't like her. But that complete lack of interest kind of set off my brain like, maybe that's him closing off his heart because he was hurt over her death, right? Not that he was jealous, more like her death affected him deeply, and so he's almost like cutting out the thought of her completely. He didn't even want to think about her. That's how I kind of read it. And looks like I might be right if he's saying that she was fond of him. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe he cared about her a lot too, you know? And maybe not the same way about like Theo, who he's clearly very attached to. But maybe he saw her as like a motherly figure, a sisterly figure. We don't know yet. But that's what I'm kind of thinking right now. Maybe she cared for him, you know? And Theo couldn't be bothered to fight with her on it. By the time she died, Theo barely seemed to remember anyone else lived in the mansion at all. He became obsessed, always doing experiments, running off on trips. You'd think his hand in her death. Kiki just had to bark right there. What? No one told you. Momo, what the fuck are you talking about? Dropping a bomb so casually. Your grandmother died in a magic accident. I don't know the details, but Theo was doing something, and there was this huge ripple of energy. Then I saw him running to Hikmat, demanding he check for her in the land of the dead. Now we know, because we saw the good ending, that like something had happened, that she stepped in and protected the girls, and she died instead. And that was really sad. He can do that? No, he can't. He used to be able to, millennia ago, but he lost that magic. He told Theo that, and your grandpa just kind of became unhinged. And then it was hard to ever pin him down again. Every time I went to find him, he was either off somewhere or holed up in his study. He got paranoid, put protective spells everywhere, vanished for days at a time without telling anyone, started to lose touch with reality, asking us what day it was, or little details to ground himself. He would ask me when the last time I saw him was, like he couldn't remember. It was weird as hell. Well, we know it's because he was messing with time and space and all of that, desperate to save her, find her, whatever. In this time, he's been gone for a long time. No idea where. He's usually back by now. Is there nothing we can do? Not unless we figure out the localization spell. But what I used wasn't enough, and I'm not going to drain you of blood trying it over and over until we figure it out. If we do it again, we need to do it right the first time. Which means I need to figure out how. Which means I might need something else. Something I didn't get before you came. What do you mean? Something from the forest? Maybe. I'll try to get it without going back to the valley. Just don't follow me. It's still not safe there if I do have to go. Not for you. It's not safe for you either. It's safer for me than you think. I belong there, after all. No, you don't, Momo. You're not like that. I'm more like a fox than like a human. Love. I'll be back. The air ripples as another portal opens. Momo vanishes through it again. I stare at the spot where he disappeared. My heart aches, but I have to trust him when he claims he knows what he's doing. And I mean, after everything that happened, we have to trust him this time, you know? We talked it through. He opened up to us. Let's have faith in him this time, right? Besides, I haven't eaten since our midnight snack. If nothing else, I'll give him an hour and then go get him. Mind made up, I go back through Momo's portal to the mansion, then go to the kitchen. Okay, I was about to say, I hope he could still get home, but thankfully it was still open. I find the kitchen rather easily, since I'm starting to finally learn the winding halls of the mansion. It's kinda surprising. Most of the time, when I'm traveling through it, it's via Momo's portals. Oh, hey kid. Hi, I came in here last night with Momo. You what? In the kitchen still in one piece? You cooked without cooking for me? I'm jealous. He starts looking around, like he's expecting to find we swept the charred ruins of something we destroyed under the counter. You didn't find evidence that they cooked? Oh no, I think Momo had cleaned up after them, that's why. Yeah, I cooked since it didn't seem like he knew how. Oh, that's fine then. But next time just get me, whatever time it is. I'll cook for you. It's my job. He picks up a horned helmet off the table, revealing a dented iron bell. Give that a ring if you need me. I can hear it a mile off. Have to put this over it to keep someone from hitting it by mistake. But you know what? It's fine, Slagathor. They had a really cute time together, so it worked out. Having you around would have been nice, but it would have interrupted their bonding. It's that loud? It wouldn't be to you, but in orc camps, these are alarm bells. We learn to recognize the sound from birth. Not exactly a traditional use for it, but it works. And it keeps people from using summoning spells and all that crap in my kitchen. You don't like magic in the kitchen? Heck no. Magic in the air makes the food taste bitter. You can taste magic? Sure I do. Don't know how Momo eats so much summoned food. Fox taste buds must not have the same sensitivity. Guess it's a good thing I didn't let him summon our snack. Yeah, good call. Where is he anyway? Figured if he got a familiar bond, he'd never leave your side. He trailed after Theodore for months when he first came. Yeah, I've heard a little about that. You were here before him then? I've been here probably the second longest. Hickmot's definitely the oldest of the bunch and just generally the oldest. Can't remember when Farron got here. He's always running off somewhere. Farron. Momo's the baby. If you don't count Imbrus, who only hangs around when he's looking for a fight. I see. And Grandpa just found you all? Brought you here? Technically, Hickmot found me. He was looking for a magic-absorbing plant that was native to my area. But that's a story for another time. I asked you a question, kiddo. Right. Momo went to go look for something, and I think he went back to the Valley of the Foxes. Slagathor's hand grips down on his spoon as his whole body tenses. Oh, he knows. How long ago? A couple minutes before I came in here. He's your familiar, so I'm not gonna butt in, but I check up on him. When he runs off like that, it tends to end badly. He gets self-destructive, or just destructive in general. I've noticed. But I don't know how to make a portal there. Not sure I could follow him, even if I wanted to. Unless you know. Sorry, kiddo. Magic and I don't really get along. What does it mean? Orc. We're getting a lot of insight into him in preparation for his route, by the way. His route is very different, like I said, and this is why. Very interesting little lore you're learning ahead of time. But yes, orc blood absorbs magic, meaning we can't use it, but it can't be used against us. I guess every race has its trade-offs, eh? I see. Here, I'll make you something to eat, and call Hikmet to show you the trick to portals. Thanks, Slagathor. No problem. Just keep your familiar away from my good pans. They're dwarven iron. Cost an arm and a leg, literally. I had to chop it off one of those giant fiery mountain frogs. Right. I'll keep that in mind. Slagathor makes me lunch, using all sorts of foods I can't even begin to identify. Of course, they all taste amazing, because he's amazing like that. Can't wait to get to your route. True to his word, just as I finish eating, Hikmet enters the kitchen. Oh, hello, darling. I miss you. Mwah. I miss you. Your route which made me cry like a baby. So glad we got your good ending. Why have you summoned me? Can you show the kid how to make a portal? Am I a tutor now? Where is Momo? The valley, apparently. Ah, I see.
I am to aid the rescue party.
That bad, huh?
Momo is uniquely suited to jumping into near-death scenarios.
What?
Hikmat, don't scare the kid. Here, I have more of the nightmare mint you like.
Try to bribe him. Give him plants and he's happy.
Very well.
Nightmare mint?
It makes great coffee if you're fine with bad dreams. I don't sleep anyway.
See? Yeah.
I do not dream, therefore there is no downside. Very well, Alan. Come with me. Sligothor disapproves of magic within the kitchen, so we will practice in the gardens.
I'm just glad we're going with Hikmat instead of Farron. Woot woot! Yeah! He turns and leaves without waiting for me. I'm starting to sense it's a pattern with those guys. Thanks, Slagathor.
No problem, kiddo. And I mean it about the pans.
Right. Ah, so nice to see you in your abs.
Alright, here we are. How familiar are you with the concept of portals?
Well, considering I was playing Portal 2 with Smooth for a while. Sorry. Oh, I do miss playing that with him. We had fun. It got really hard though. It got really, really hard. Not at all. I forced Momo to open one using my magic earlier, but I'm not really sure how I did it.
Of course not. Has Momo shown you nothing?
He has. He showed me how to break illusions and helped me get rid of my block. I didn't need to know portals until now. It's not his fault. Aw, Alan, defending your man. That's sweet.
I see you have developed a bias already. It bodes well for your relationship, but be cautious. Even a familiar bond does not protect you from betrayal.
What do you mean?
It does not matter. Let us begin.
Hikmat is a brutal instructor, but explains things well. It only takes about an hour of making the air sputter and flicker before I form something solid. Hikmat passes through it, testing it, then emerges again.
That is quite impressive. You have a natural talent for space-time manipulation like your grandfather.
I'm surprised you didn't complain about not having time for this. I guess the Nightmare Mint was payment enough. It sounds familiar because you're remembering this from the other world line. I said world line because I'm thinking of another game that I played with Coco. Oh gosh. Anyway, another reality. The line sounds familiar, but I can't recall when I heard it. I think Momo might have said something similar. Thank you for your help, Hikmat. I really appreciate it.
It is of no importance. You may go now. Try not to lose your life. The Valley of Foxes can be unforgiving even to its own inhabitants, let alone outsiders.
Right. I'll be careful. See you when I get back.
You will not. However, I will alert Farron you may require medical attention shortly.
No! No! Why can't you stay? Why, Farron? Why? Thanks?
It is no issue. Go now.
Taking that rather pessimistic outlook in stride, I make my portal, take a deep breath, and step through. I'm a little worried that you're saying we're gonna need help. Uh-oh. Oh. It's getting dark, so the music makes me worry too. I focus on the desire to find Momo. I want to go to him, help him get back. I come out in the same area we'd been earlier. But this time there's nothing around except a single fox. It lies in the distance, multiple fluffy orange tails curled around it. Uh-oh. It doesn't look too good. Its breaths are slow and shallow. Hello? Can you hear me? The fox doesn't do so much as twitch. I glance around looking for Momo or anyone else. Any other foxes, even. But before I can see much else, the world around me starts to get foggy in a horribly familiar way. An illusion. I tense, jerking my head around. Momo? Oh no, this mofo. Well, I think this is a good place to leave it. Oh, some stuff about to go down, ain't it? Alright. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye.